You ever get that moment of panic when you start to back up? Oh God, did I leave the fly rod on the back of the car? I'm about to crush it. It's right here next to me. Probably more panic, so because I actually broke a fly rod earlier. JP's gonna kill me. I don't know what I did. I might have stepped on it. I really didn't think I did, but the next time I went to cast it, about 8 inches worth of tip and 3 guides went down the line, stopped at the hook. Not cool. What are you gonna do? There was a time when I would have broken that fly rod and then got so pissed off about it that I probably would have broken it in a couple other places over my knee. Swore, knocked down a couple of trees, caved in the door of my car when I got back. Man, I would have been so pissed. I mean, when I broke the fly rod today, I was pissed, yes, but I was fly fishing at the same time, which means I was like, son of a... I kept it all inside. Fly fishing is... Anywhere else, I would have gone nuts breaking that fly rod. If I did that at home, it would not have been pretty. I just kind of swallowed, shook my head, did this a little bit like I'm doing now. I'm still doing it just thinking about it. That was my first JP Ross fly rod too. It was a 6 foot 6 inch 3-weight. Now if we can put a tip on it, it'll probably be like a 5 foot 7 inch. It'll still work, but it won't be the same. It will never be the same. And I'm pretty sure that it's the blank that JP doesn't build anymore, so I'm screwed. The broken off section with the 3 guides on it, it'll go on the wall in my writing area, something to remember. Kind of like a that'll be like a participation trophy. Yeah. So for 2 days I've been driving around trying to find a fish in the Adirondacks in a small stream. Today I finally found one. I found a couple, but I found one first. Then I found a couple more. Man, it was a lot of work. When I got here, there were a couple guys walking off of a trail. They had a spinning rod and a couple fly rods. So I did the small talk thing from 6 feet away plus social distancing. Do it right. How was the fishing? How'd it go? And they both just kind of shook their heads. No good. Which they could have been lying just so I wouldn't, maybe I'd move on. But I think they're telling the truth. They didn't catch anything. And I said, I've been fishing small streams up here for the past 2 days and I haven't been able to find anything. We both kind of agreed that the water in these small streams is probably just still a little too cold. It's in the upper 40s. It's got to get in the 50s before they'll really turn on. So they left and I didn't go the way they went. I went upstream instead of downstream. Everybody goes downstream. Why? Because there are 2 trails that lead downstream. You can get there easy. I go upstream where there is no trail. You're either busting through spruce traps. That is new growth spruce pine trees that are all on top of each other and you just cannot move. And if you've got a fly rod, fishing rod of any kind in your hand trying to get through that stuff, it's not pretty. You will end up hanging rod guides on branches and leaving them there like Christmas ornaments. It's not good stuff. Either got to bust through that stuff, which I don't do anymore, or you can kind of stay along the edge, but it's all alders and it's just about the same except that there's no leaves right now, so it's easier to move through them because you can see what's coming, but it's still man, it's work. So as long as it's shallow enough below my chest waders, I'll just stick to the stream. Everybody else wants to walk a trail, so they go downstream at this spot. I go upstream at this spot. And the reason I wanted to go upstream, I will go downstream quite a bit because the fishing is really good, but it's all fast moving pocket water. The reason I went upstream today is because there are some big pools. And that was like my last ditch effort. I'm driving home now. It was my last ditch effort to catch a brook trout in the Adirondacks. I thought, if anything, these slow, deep pools will be the spot. I have caught them before, April 1st. Still snow on the ground, still freezing cold. The water, I think, was 38 degrees. First time I ever caught a fish out of one of these pools. My legs were stinging. I'd been standing in the water so long. I did not have neoprene waders. I just had my summer weight waders with some fleece liner things in my jeans. But I stood in there long enough that my legs were stinging. And I was going to get out, but I told myself the stinging kind of feels like burning. And burning means heat. Therefore, I am not cold. I am burning up. So I kept fishing. And that's where I caught my first. In these pools, that's when I caught my first brook trout. So I figured today is good enough. There's no snow up here. There's some snow in the trees. Very little. The last of it's coming off. The last of it's melting. The stream was flowing good. It looked good when I got here. They came from downstream, said they got nothing. I went upstream to the pools. I worked a lot for that first fish. It was a long walk to get there. You got to get through some stuff, some hard places in the stream. You don't want to get out of the stream because, like I said, it's all spruce traps and alders, but pretty cool. It was, what was I trying? I was trying some nymph thing. Don't ask me the name of the fly because I don't know. I don't even know where I got it from. It was some little nymph thing. It had wire wrap body, little wing casing, and I did have a tug on that, but then that was it. I figured I ruined that spot with just the one, so then I put a different one on, and I actually had a fish on, and I got to see it, and it was really nice for a brook trout in a small stream. And then I lost it. Why? Probably because I'm a marginal fly fisherman. Took too long, didn't set the hook, who knows, whatever. I didn't get it. So then it was a bunch of empty casts for like a half an hour. And this is a big pool, but I figured, well, that fish flailing around on the end of my line, splashing a couple times, shooting all over, probably spooked the hole. Nothing. So I moved around to a different spot on the same hole from a different angle. And I actually was kind of hiding at a boulder at the head of this pool, trying to stay low and casting into the pool. So I was actually fishing downstream of me, which I never do when I'm trout fishing. I always try to fish upstream. Most people do. I know some guys that don't. They do really good. It depends on how you do it. So I was copying their style. I was fishing way downstream with a nymph, heavy nymph. I'd cast way downstream to the side, and I'd let the current, as it was sinking, take it to the center, and super small short drifts, or short strips, back to me. And I was getting some tugs, but nothing was taking it. So I put on a really small streamer. I know it's too early for the brook trout to be doing that on these small streams, but that's the way I like to do things. Wrong. And I actually got a tug on the small streamer. Then I realized that it's, even though it's really small, it's still too big. I thought the hook was too big. So I was all over the place with this. I put on this tiny little midge nymph. I don't know what size it was. Size way too freaking small is what it was. The 6X tippet just barely fit through the eye on this hook. So it was probably like a size 20 nymph. Little red thing. Red body, wire wrap over the red, and a bead head. Tiny. Figure that hook is small enough. Nothing. I couldn't even get a tug. So I looked through my fly box one last time, tried just about everything, and there's this little, I don't know what it's supposed to imitate, some buggy pupil looking thing that just came out from underneath the rock. Flashy olive dubbing body with a soft hackle around the head, probably like a size 14 or 16. Had a little bit of weight to it. It might have had some lead wrap on the body. I couldn't tell. I don't know where that one came from either. So I tried that exactly the same as I was fishing the other stuff, and nothing. So I decided to flip it to the other side of the head of this hole. To my left, to my right, I'd been fishing the left. And when I did that, once you know, I snag it on a rock. So I move over, stumble across the stream, get a different angle to pull it off the rock before I decide to break it off. And I get it off, and right from where I'm standing, I've moved over about 15 feet from where I was fishing. I cast it right back to where I just made those bazillion other casts with all these other flies, but from a new position. The thing hit the water. You probably could have counted to 3, and bam! What the hell? I was just fishing there a bazillion times. If you think that these fish can't see you, you're wrong, and there's the proof. I'd been standing there a bazillion casts, a couple of tugs way down deep with nothing. I moved 15 feet out of the way, away from those boulders. They couldn't see me. That thing touched down, wham. Either that, or they're just screwing with me, which I wouldn't put it past them, and I wouldn't hold it against them. After that, I don't know, I always said that I've got this idea that you've got to catch a fish before the fly will really start working well. You got to get it fishy smelling. After that one, I caught a few others. That one I actually got on, I had the camera sitting over in the bushes in the bank, hoping it wouldn't fall in the water. I've only lost a couple of phones falling in the water, and I refuse to pay for a waterproof phone, so I'm an idiot. But I actually got that one on video, so hopefully there's a couple of good pictures of it. Hopefully. God, I hope so. Either way, I saw it in my head. If you don't get to see it, tough shit. Pardon my French. So now I'm going home. 2 days traipsing around. Let me think about how many streams I fished. 4 small streams. The last one, I finally got my brook trout. It's my first Adirondack brook trout of the year. Yesterday I saw my first Adirondack moose ever. If good things, I know bad things usually come in 3s. I'm hoping good things come in 3. First Adirondack moose ever. First Adirondack wild brook trout of the year. Hey, look, turkeys. So if good things come in 3, let's hope there's one more thing coming. I don't know. It won't be the lottery because I don't play the lottery. It won't be a girlfriend because I'm not looking. I got some bozo coming head on. Yeah, past me in a double yellow, jackass. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. I don't know what the third thing will be. Anyways, I'm on my way home, and it pays to fish hard. Some people would say that those brook trout weren't worth all the work. And to them I say, you are entitled to your opinion, and I think your opinion sucks. So, till the next marginal fly fisherman video, that is it. Hope I can get home before I get a ticket for having a headlight out. I'm trying to beat the sun down. It's tough being me.